check. 1, 2. Get it going, y'all. What is going on, everybody? How we doing? We doing okay? For those that don't know, if you're joining me, first of all, if you're a subscriber, thank you for being here. Appreciate you being a part today. If you don't know who I am or what I'm about, my name is Paul, and I'll be your DM for a while. I'll also go by Flint Fireforge, which is the name of this channel. And the reason it's the name of the channel is because I just wanted a cool character name. I just wanted like the cool artwork. And so I said, well, we'll go with Flint Fireforge, who's from the Dragonlance series. And I said, well, that's what we're gonna go with. You know, I don't think, sometimes I think these things through and sometimes I don't, but this one I was pretty sure that's what I wanted to go with. And so tonight we're going to talk about Thieves guilds, and I'm going to share a couple of resources with all of you, and just share some things maybe that I've been working on as well. And if you're watching this in the future, by the way, thank you for watching. And don't forget, if you want more videos like this, be sure to go and click that subscribe button, and also go and click that thumbs up button. That tells me you like the video and you want more of them. If you have questions, feel free to go ahead and throw it in the chat about Thieves guilds, or if you have DM questions. This is, like I said, this is my first stream here, so not super pro about this, but I'm going to give it my best shot. So you guys work with me, okay? Be kind in the chat, please. But feel free to ask questions, all that kind of good stuff. So as you know, the Honor Among Thieves comes out, and I've been running a lot of videos lately about Thieves. I've talked about 17 essentials, equipment essentials of a thief. I've talked about what kind of thief are you, and I kind of go through some different archetypes and different roles, responsibilities that thieves may have. And so in this one, I just want to kind of go through some resources and just kind of like offer some fun stuff there. Some of the stuff that I'm drawing from is from there's a couple of resources here. One is the Complete Thieves Handbook, which is an advanced Dungeons and Dragon resource, and it just has so you can get this on DM's Guild. And so if you're looking for some great resources that offer this, one thing that this offers, it has some player character guild masters in here that you can use for the different guilds. It gives you some advice on guild design, how to build a guild, and so forth. And so it has a lot of great resources. I love guilds, by the way. I just think guilds, just like you have, and I just think they're underutilized. I think guilds are, whether it's Thieves guilds or whether it's like, the different groupings, organizations you can belong to in D&D, whether that's the Harpers or things like that. And then there's Pathfinder Society, which has all those adventuring societies. And I just think those are so underutilized to offer to players. And I am sad because, my players, they're not into it as much as I am. I try to, put those in. I try to put those into the games and offer them, to either join or, things like that. And of course, the Harpers plays a role in the Honor Among Thieves. And by the way, I give my review about that. So if you want to check my channel, there is a review about that. But like I said, I like to use them because why can't you offer? I mean, it gives you if you're not rich enough, you could have a base of operations, right? Especially if you're a thief, you can probably live at the guild. There's probably housing. There's probably, secret doors and secret handshakes you got to go through. They have a little, thing at the top of the door. You kind of, they're like, what's the password? Right. And so stuff like that. So I think at least, especially for thieves, I would say, that, it's an underutilized resource amongst all the party. But I think thieves, if you offer that to them, they may link onto that. And then it becomes a place too, where they have resources, right? They can go say, look, I belong to such and such Thieves Guild. Let's see if they have it. And of course, if you do that, there's always a deal to be made, to use that stuff, because there's, most Thieves Guilds, don't do for free stuff. Either that thief will have to pay them back in some sort of way with doing a job, or they're going to have, or the party's going to have to do something for them, which may be a fun tension there, where they have to do something that they may not feel very good about, but they know that they have to. They have to be able to, do this in order to get the thing that they want. So I think it offers a lot of relational tension. If you do that, you can have some other NPCs, things like that. And my whole goal in this is simply to offer you as a dungeon master or as a game master some ideas that maybe you're not utilizing. Things like organizations, things like thieves guilds. That's why having this conversation tonight, is because, well, I just think they're underutilized. And I'm going to share too at the end here, towards the end, I'm going to share some guilds that I made up just for fun, just be able to share with you guys tonight, and share some of the things that and how I've categorized them and so forth. But like I said, that's the first resource here, is using the Thieves Guild, the Thieves Handbook. Once again, this is second edition. Once again, we get hung up on editions, like, use what you can. If it's available, why not use it? Why not use all the resources you can? You just kind of thumb through it. I'd like to hear from you. If you have a favorite thief resource you like, leave it down in the comments, because I'm always looking to build, to build up my little arsenal of those things as well. And like I said, this particular one, this gives you all the ideas as far as building, how to build a guild, looking at the various, from the guild master to the fence, all these different roles and responsibilities they're in. And maybe you can make that too. That becomes a great story building tool that you could have whoever the thief or the rogue is in your group can move up in that organization. It can be, for so much gold that he brings in, and for so much, risks that he's taken. If they see that he's taking those risks, maybe he gets some sort of experience points that you could level them up, level that thief up in the organization to where he has a lot more clout, has more access to different things, where then for the party, then it becomes a resource, because maybe he's able to say, hey, look, we're going on this thing, this adventure here. We're going to need some hirelings. And maybe the guild is willing to let you take some thieves along with you. Maybe take a couple of extra thieves with you. Of course, you got to keep an eye on them because they will be trouble. And of course, as the DM, you can playing those NPCs, you can go ahead and be that little bit of trouble where maybe they see an opportunity to backstab the party and kind of take whatever it is that they are going to get. And so I think I just see it as a great story build. Using a Thieves Guild is a great story building tool that you can work with. And so let me show you another resource that I'm looking at too. And that is called Legends and Lairs, Traps and Treasury. And this is from 3rd edition. And, I'm just going to show you a little bit of the artwork. It's back. I think it's 2002, something like that. I want to say 2001. Oh, close. And so in this particular one, they still got some of that kind of that old school art that's in there that I really kind of like, the black and white. And this is put out by, this is the D20 system, and put out by Fantasy Flight Games. And so just the artwork in here is super cool looking. Like I said, it's very kind of just kind of a retro kind of look, and I just appreciate and enjoy those kind of things. Even the paper feel, the way the paper feels in this book, it's just it evokes emotion maybe from from books past. But in this book, and the way I like this book is because it has in here, it has some killer traps at the end of the book. It's called Traps. At the end of the book, it's called Traps and Treasury. And it gives you these kind of 3D views here of the various trap rooms that you can find. And it offers you, there's the Hangman's Last Laugh right here. There's the alcoves. It kind of, like I said, it builds out. It shows you kind of in 2D there, 2D fashion of what this is going to look like and how it's supposed to play out. Because sometimes when you read a trap, you're not quite sure if it's all print and they don't give you any pictures or anything. it becomes really difficult. This is a teleportation trap right here. That looks very cool there. That looks very dangerous. But yeah, this also offers some different. This is where they start kind of putting in the archetypes and things like that. And so they have this is the way of the rogue, here, and things like trap lore. I think is just a fantastic thing that you could offer because they know something, and maybe if they do a history check or something like that, maybe your rogue or your thief, has read books on traps. If they want to be a trap, by the way, I think it's a trap master that you can become in this. But you can level them up to where, look, okay, you've read X amount of books on traps. If they tell you that, especially if they say, hey, look, I've read a bunch of books, I've gone to the library, or maybe it's a Thieves Guild's library. Maybe the Thieves Guild has a really cool library where you can check books out on traps, and you can find things like Grimtooth's, Book of Traps, things like that, to where you can get bonuses on trying to deactivate a trap or disarm a trap. Also, it gives you some of the businesses that thieves guilds are in, like extortion, right? We always see this in the movies. In the movies, the thieves kind of, they kind of run the town a little bit, well, so to speak, depending how big the town is. But where they will go around to the various businesses and ask for money. And of course, if it's kind of like this, maybe in Fandelver, where the red what is it? The red coats? It's not the red coats. It's the guys with red sashes, red brigade, something like that, where they're kind of like in the town and they're going around doing extortion. And of course, if your players go into a town and they're seeing this happen, well, they may want to respond to it. They may not. But if the town's doing extortion, if the guild is doing extortion, maybe they're doing blackmail in that town. Maybe that is a reason for an adventure that the nobleman of that town is being blackmailed by the Thieves Guild, and they have something of his that proves that he has been doing something terrible. Could be a document, and maybe you have to sneak into the Thieves Guild to actually retrieve it, which would be super dangerous. But that would be kind of fun as well. Some other things that this offers is guild membership. How to climb the ladder. There's the journeyman, the enforcer, the apprentice, the captain, the lieutenant, the actual guild master. So it gives you this, and it gives you also a sample. It gives you a sample guild, which is the Acquisitors Consortium, right? So anyway, just as a resource, Traps and Treachery is a really, really good resource. Now, for the other one, I'm going to go ahead and just jump over here to my screen because I want to share with you a PDF that I have. It's an old school essentials document here, and it would be helpful if I turned off. Let me move this out of the way here. Let's take that and get rid of that. Okay. Yeah. And what you see here, let me move this over just a little bit. Okay. This is a great resource. It's an old school thing, but it's a populated hexcrawl series. And let me move this up just a little bit. There we go. Okay. And so as we kind of go through this really breaks down for you. And you use this for old school essentials or any old school game. But there's a guide to Thieves Guilds. And as you can see there, it gives you the various, things you can go to. And this is clickable, by the way. So if I click to revenue and expenses, it's going to take me right there. And what does it take to run a Thieves Guild, right? It talks about money that you're taking in, money you're going to use. Is each type of, let's read right here. It says each type of guild will be discussed below individually, regardless of the type of the guild. The same general procedure is used to determine revenue. Revenue is generated monthly. Determine the classes and levels of all guild masters. Once a guild consists of more than 6 members, the guildmaster generates revenue as a character of half their level, since they need to spend more time overseeing activities. Total the revenue for the month. This is the gross revenue for the month, modified by boons, banes, morale, conflicts. See the section on order of operations. For more info, adjust total revenue as appropriate, and the guild gets the percentage cut and the members get theirs. So even in that little bit of information there, that if you're wanting to run a Thieves guild for your next game, let's say you go ahead and you watch Honor Among Thieves, and you say, we're going to do an all rogue party or an all thieves party. And maybe, you do some heist. You could use the keys to the golden vault, which is I'm working through that now. I have a game coming up. I'm going to play the first adventure in that, and I'll talk more about that later. But little things like this, yes, it gets a little crunchy there. But listen, if that's your jam and that's what your players want to play, let them get crunchy, right? And it kind of works through all those. Let's kind of move on here. Then it talks about the guild focuses. Okay. Continuing to break down kind of the revenue by market class. Once again, lots of D100 tables. It can tell you how many. Let me just back up here. It says every month there's a 1 in 6. Every month here there's a 1 in 6 chance. I'm sorry, let me go back here. It says the various guilds are discussed below. Note that each guild has its own revenue per month, as well as tables of potential boons and banes. Every month there's a 1 in 6 chance occurring. Roll for at the beginning of each month. So if a boon or bane occurs, it does so occurring the upcoming month. If there are if there are one or more double agents in the guild, which that's interesting. Of course, your players would want to be double agents, wouldn't they? Then increase the monthly chance of incurring bane by each double to a maximum of 1 to 5. In 6 chance, the rolls of banes and bonuses should be made secret by the referee. When the results calls for something to happen random, guild members determine them randomly and follows once one rolling potential members. If there's a guild member of the given level role. Okay. All right. So lots of information there. Let's move on. Nice little artwork there. And as you go through, like I said, there's assassins guilds, banes, right? So something that's not very good for assassins guilds. When rolling for revenue, subtract 1d4 from the roll. When 1d6 members leave the guilds, here we go, 14 and 15, this is a good one here. 1d6 members leave the guild slandering the guildmaster. Apply a -1 penalty to all recruitment rolls for 1d4 months. Now, this also becomes an adventure generator. So, yes, let's say you roll that up. 1d6 members leave the guild slandering the guildmaster. Well, then the guildmaster says, well, we're going to put that to an end, because clearly they're wanting to, get members, maybe make their own guild. And they say, look, you guys got to go out and stop these guys. They're slandering my name everywhere, and you got to have a talk with them. I don't necessarily, or maybe try to convince them to come back or something like that. But I just think that's also a way to do adventures. Okay. Just a couple more pages here, and I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but I think you see the value of this, because it like I said, it's super crunchy, lots of little tidbits in here, lots of little things you can do in here. But I find that it's, once again, you got the burglars guild banes there. You have boons over here. Let's look at just a couple of boons right here. It says in a burglar, a boon could be, if you roll the dice there, 1 through 20, the burglars obtain an item of great power in addition to their revenue, randomly determine 1d2 magical items. So once again, there's boons and there's banes. You can also, if you're a thief's a part of that, maybe he has access then to those magical items. So, all right, so let's go ahead and go back over here. And then I want to show you some of the guilds that I've created just for fun. And so let me go ahead and go through here and show you, and it'll take up the whole screen, but don't worry, it'll be okay. So the Velvet Hands. Now I've divided this up into good, neutral, and evil. Okay. And so the Velvet Hands, these guys are all about These guys are all about high-end thievery and robbery, right? That's why they're called the Velvet Hands. They do a light touch. They're made up of serious thieves who only steal from like evil or misguided people in power and only steal high-end items like art, magic items, artifacts, anything else that would be used, to oppress others. Let's see. We'll go on to the Blade Knights. The Night Blades. The Night Blades are made up of paladins. Paladins and clerics, once lawful and true, but they're from various faiths, no faiths, and now they are disenchanted with the way of the straight and narrow, and have taken the law into their own hands. And so that'd be a lot of fun to run because they're still good guys, but they're still good. They just want to not have to deal with these crooked people sometimes. Then you have the Midnight Moon. And the Midnight Moon is this band of brothers and sisters. Basically, they tend to attract nocturnal thieves like werewolves, vampires, owlins. They have ties to celestial forces who seek to redeem outcasts and use them for their good in the world. Let's see. We'll go to the next one. Then I have one called the Elements. And this is with a guild, and they're actually, I have them posing as a hotel, aptly called the Four Seasons. What else might expect? What else do you expect from a group of genasi and some druids seeking out bad elements and taking their stuff to make the world a better place? So once again, these are super niche, but once again, I think they'd be a lot of fun in a game. Let's look at Weapons of the Skull. Now, this is where it gets bad. This is the bad people, right? Those other guys are all kind of like anti-heroes, the neutral guys there. And then you have the bad or the neutral, the anti-heroes. But Weapons of the Skull. Each individual of Weapons of the Skull belongs to the skull, but no one knows, including the fighters and rogues who belong to the skull, who the skull is, and whether it's a real person or just an idea. Kind of like Fight Club. No matter these thieves are out to take what can be taken. And so Weapons of the Skull, those guys are going to be the anti-heroes. They can go either way. Then you have Damn Maggots. And all these guys are ex-soldiers and veterans. These ex-soldiers have an axe to grind with anyone in authority. Some of these soldiers, using their military know-how, they steal from any army they feel have gotten too big for their backpacks, possibly changing the course of history. So they're involved in stealing from specifically military folks, military armies, or armies that have been raised up to conquer a town or something like that. Then you have Bloodbound. And Bloodbound they are like cursed, hollow ones, and Dampiers, right? And you can throw vampires in there if you want. Thieves come in all kinds, even the undead. If revenge is on the menu, the Bloodbound will have a double portion as they seek to dethrone those who manipulate people's lives for fun and or wealth. This bunch could go either way, so watch your step. And then we get into the Betrayed Shadows. And these are mostly rogues and rangers. And the sign in their mess hall reads, "In the end, we're all thieves in some way." The members of Betrayed Shadows carry a chip on their shoulder, and they dare anyone to knock it off. Espionage, secret stealing, and backstabbing are all in a day's work. And so the backstory for these guys is that somehow they were betrayed by people they trusted, and so they said, "Well, we're gonna exact our revenge on these folks and take care of business there." Okay. Then we get into the Ugly, which are your neutral evil, chaotic evil. So the Nocturnal is basically anyone can be in this. These criminals don't just steal, they terrorize whole communities. Made up of anarchists, these mobs come into a town and take it over and bleed it until it's dry. Their fun starts when the sun goes down. Lock your doors and keep your sword by your bed. And I think of the Clint Eastwood movie, the once again they come in and take over the whole town. And I wish I could. High Plains Drifter, that's what it's called. High Plains Drifter would be a good example of these evil kind of nocturnal folks there. But yeah, those are just some of my ideas of things. You let me know, what do you think about them? Because like I said, I like to work in Canva. I work in images, and so these things that I think about are just, they kind of evoke different thoughts and ideas. Maybe I'll take it and put it up in the Thieves Guild, in the DMs Guild. I'll put it up in the Thieves Guild. Let the thieves go ahead and steal it. But yeah, if you're interested in something like that, if you think that those would be cool, leave me a comment down below and let me know. If that's something, if I just did kind of a pay what you want kind of thing, because I would give you those files, and then I would also give you some built out more. I'd build out these guilds a little bit more. I'd also give you the each of the logos that you could take it and just put it on top of things or whatever, on top of like something you're giving your players, something like that. But let me know down in the comments if that is something you would like. All right, last thing, and then I'm going to let you guys get out of here. Don't forget, if you have questions for tonight, feel free to go ahead and drop them down below, and I will answer them. But for right now, I'm going to show you real quick. This coming Tuesday, I am going to have a game. And if you don't know, I am a professional dungeon master. I run games over on Start Playing. And so if you're interested, Tuesday, I am actually going to run Keys from the Golden Vault, the Murkmire Malevolence. And so if that is of interest to you, I will put a link after this is all over. I'll put a link down below there. You can go check out the scenario if that's going to be something for you. If you'd like to play a rogue or a thief, I have some pre-generated characters already that kind of fit different roles and different things like that. So all the thieves will be somewhat different. All the rogues will be different. So you can play like the muscle. I think it's like a big furball you could play being the muscle in that. Or maybe it was a Goliath. Maybe it could be a Goliath, could be a furball. Either one, they're both fairly large. So yeah, if that is of interest to you, I'll put a link to that, and that's a great way for you to be able to support the channel. My goal, of course, is to try to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So if you are not subscribed yet, like I said, be sure to go and click subscribe, and you get videos like this in your inbox on a regular basis. But really, that is it for today, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching. Whether you're watching live now or whether you're watching later on in the future, I appreciate your time. Hope that you enjoyed this. Please leave your comments. That way I know how to get better, what I can share. I try not to take up too much time. I hope 30 minutes is good for you all to share just some of the resources that I have. And if you have suggestions for other videos, you're welcome to leave those as well. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being a part of my first live stream here. And I will catch you guys in the next one. We'll talk to you guys later.